Lane. It's time for a chicken fried steak, some jalapeno gravy, Nanny's yeast rolls, a cold cucumber salad, and the 1245 edition of Down on the Farm Radio. Let's get started with a quick look at ag weather for the northwestern portion of Down on the Farm country. It says a 96 in Abilene, 95 in San Angelo, 92 in Ozona, 93 in Sonora, a scattered shower, and a 94 in Junction. Neighbor, let's move a little bit more south and east through Down on the Farm country. We'll call Fredericksburg 91. We'll call Georgetown 97. We'll call LaGrange, Gonzales, Giddings, and Cuero 95. And we'll call San Antonio 96. The overnight lows, we'll call them 71 to 75. Neighbor, let's take a look at those commodities of ag interest. December corn, 552 and 3/4, up 1. November beans, 1326 and 3/4, up 6. December bean meal, 354.40 by the ton, up $1.60. Kansas City hard red winter wheat, December contract, 724 and 1/4, up 9 and 1/4. December number 2 cotton, down 35, 94.15. October live cattle, down 72.50 at 129.57. October feeder cattle, down 117, now 115 at 168.12. October lean hogs up 20 at 88.95. Your September U.S. dollar index up 208 points at 93.04. December gold 17.92.20 by the ounce, up $1. And your October West Texas intermediate crude down 71 at 67.74. Neighbor, there's your commodities of ag interest. Neighbor, Hop Sing's ready to serve right quick like today. Chicken fried steak, jalapeno gravy, Nanny's yeast rolls, a cold cucumber salad, glass of iced tea. And I've got a report from Carl Herman from Caldwell Livestock about the sale he had on Wednesday. Carl, break it down for us.
You know, we had a really good day yesterday. Had over 800 head for 130 consigners on a steady to higher cow and calf market, and 60 buyers. We had about 175 cows and bulls yesterday. Had a lot of stocker cows, pairs, young pairs that really did good. Most of those young pairs brought from 1,350 to 1,800, so we got along with them really good. Slaughter cows 35 to 80. Slaughter bulls, 65 to $1. Stocker cows, 700 to 1,300, and the pairs, 975 to 1,750. On the calves, on the steers, 2 to 3 weights, 180 to 215. 3 to 4 weights, 181 to 235. 4 to 5 weight steers brought 164 to 207. 5 to 6 weights, 148 to 178. 6 to 7 weight steers, 139 to 154. And the 7 to 8 weights, 127 to 147. On the heifer side, 2 to 3 weights, 140 to 167. 3 to 4 weights, 156 to $2. 4 to 5 weights, 146 to 215. 5 to 6 weights, 146 to 185. 6 to 7 weight heifers, 142 to 220. And the 7 to 8 weights, 132 to 147. So overall, we had a good day. The market was good. Had a lot of buyers on hand, and look forward to doing it again.
Tell everybody how to get a hold of you for next week's sale.
My number's 979-820-5349. Call the barn 567-4119. Or from the Giddings and surrounding area, call Max Ebner at 540-8676.
Neighbor, you need to check out the deals at Meatheads today and Friday. While supplies last, bone-in ribeyes $10.49 by the pound. Bone-in sirloins $6.99 by the pound. Once they're gone, they're gone. Meatheads specials today in Gonzales. 830-672-2135. 830-672-2135. That's Meatheads in Gonzales. Neighbor, when you hear cattle in the alleyway, it's time to head up to Fredericksburg, where they had a Wednesday cattle sale. Wayne Geiswhite, Gillespie Livestock, Fredericksburg. Wayne, tell us how those cattle sold for you.
Well, we ended up with right at 1,000 head, Larry. Cow market was probably a buck or two cheaper. They tried to back this thing up, and it seemed like it just kept getting higher as the day went along. Sold a couple of real good cows up close to 80. Most of the cows bring 65 to 71 or 2. Then cows back from there. Calf market was just unreal. You know, last week we talked about not having quite as many orders in the house, and this week we just had big coups up. I quoted 500-pound down kind of cattle, a good $10 higher. Some might have been more than that. 550 up, kind of 5 to 7 higher on the steers. The heifers, quoted the heifers kind of 3 to 7 higher straight across the board. With the big jump in some of those 625-pound heifers running up over 140. Steers look like the better 3-weight steers bring up to, a lot of them bring 2 to 240. 4 weights up to 220, 5 weights up to right on top of 190, 6 weights right on top of 170, 7 weights in the low 150s. Look like the heifers, the better 4-weight heifers kind of bring up to in the low 170s. 5-weight heifers in the high mid 150s, and 6 weights in the kind of 135 to 145. So that was just quite a bit higher there. Had some really, really good replacement heifers. Sure topped the market here today. Had some 700-pound bronze heifers bring 170 something. 600 is about the same. That was very active. Had a lot of people trying to buy good replacement heifers today. I was really happy with the sale. Had a good sale. Everybody ought to be happy.
That leads to next week. What do you see headed our direction?
Well, I think it'll be about like we've been running, until it gets dry. Now, if these cattle are all gaining weight out in the country, people are happy. If this doesn't bring them to town with the market, I don't know. Some people are saying they might not be out there.
That'd be the only thing I can think of. Well, tell everybody how to get a hold of you, Wayne.
830-997-4394. And Larry, I don't know for sure, but I might have like 350 really good Angora goats coming in. Somebody might call me if they're interested. A bunch of yearling and 2-year-old nannies. We're working on them. We're going to see what's going to happen there.
We'll be looking, and we'll ask Sean again on Sunday evening when we hear from him. Wayne, thank you a bunch.
You bet.
Neighbor, on today's Down on the Farm, we have 2 reports courtesy of the Texas Farm Bureau Roundup. Let's see who will be our guests and what their topics will be.
Corn harvest is near completion in Central Texas. This is Dr. Shane McClellan, and I'll have more from Waco.
The Coastal Bend cotton harvest is in full swing. This is Harvey Buring reporting from the Corpus Christi area.
We'll be back with Dr. McClellan and Harvey after these words from your Texas Farm Bureau insurance agencies.
When we moved to Texas, we were like fish out of water. We didn't know anyone in our neighborhood until our Texas Farm Bureau insurance agent came to the house. She was so helpful and reassuring, a friendly face with that Texan hospitality I'd heard about. When we purchased a Texas Farm Bureau insurance policy, we knew we were making the right choice. We knew our family would be protected.
Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance today at tfbinsurance.com to find an insurance agent who's a true neighbor. Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
The corn harvest is just about complete. We'll find out how close to the end we are and what else is going on in the Waco area in this report from Dr. Shane McClellan. Dr. McClellan?
Mother Nature couldn't let Central Texas farmers finish out corn harvest without sending more rain. Some areas of McLennan County received over 4 inches of rain, while others only received a few tenths of rainfall. Most of Central Texas did receive some rain, however, not everybody did. While it was flooded on the western side of McLennan County, on the eastern side, on the river bottoms, irrigation was running on cotton ground. The moisture we received after the rain did dry up quickly, though, due to just some hot, windy days. That did allow farmers to get back into the fields and complete corn harvest for 2020. Most producers are at least 3 weeks to a month later than they normally would in wrapping up that 2020 corn shelling. Yields have been good. The county extension replicated corn hybrid trial averaged over 145 bushels per acre, and the county replicated grain sorghum trial averaged 5,500 pounds an acre. Now, anytime you can get over 5,000-pound milo, that's a good year. Cotton will be our next major crop that will be harvested. Cotton still has some time to develop and finish out the growing season. Cotton got off to a really rocky start in Central Texas, but it has rebounded, and it does show some potential for a very favorable yield. Armyworms continue to be a nuisance in Central Texas. Many producers have sprayed multiple times with insecticides, trying to keep the armyworm population low enough that it doesn't damage forages. For most, the armyworms have cost producers at least one hay cutting. It's a common story. A farmer checked his field one day, everything was fine. He got busy doing other things. He checked it 3 or 4 days later, and the armyworm population had increased to a population heavy enough, and they had destroyed his hayfield. I keep thinking this hot, sunny weather will finally knock the population back, but armyworms seem to be more resilient than I've ever seen them. Makes me wonder, how bad will they be in the fall when the environmental conditions provide a good habitat for armyworms? Only time will tell. Until next time, this has been Dr. Shane McClellan from Waco with the Texas Farm Bureau Roundup.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance has protected fellow Texans with auto, home, health, and life insurance since 1952. With more than 260,000 square miles of land and 27 million people, that's a lot to cover. Whether you're wrangling cattle or wrangling kids, we're proud to protect Texans in all Texan ways of life.
Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance today at tfbinsurance.com to get insurance for Texans by Texans. Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Now, neighbor, let's head to the northeastern portion of deep South Texas and talk to Harvey Buring about what is amounted to a darn good harvest of cotton. Harvey?
Well, the 2021 coastal bend cotton crop has had more than its share of ups and downs, and with marginal soil moisture delaying planting and those cool nights that followed the germination of some of those cotton fields, it was off to a slow and rocky start. Then heavy rains came in mid-May, caused a lot of fields to be waterlogged and underwater for a few days. That further delayed the development of the crop. But fortunately, more favorable conditions occurred around early June through July and put our cotton crop back on track and have a positive outcome this year. And at this time, there's some good yields coming out of the fields. But back in late May and early June, I reported that the crop was likely to be 10 days to 2 weeks behind the normal average for harvest, and that has proven to be the case this year. In fact, the Corpus Christi Classing Office just issued its first classing report on August 20th, and typically their first report comes out around the 7th to the 10th of the month of August. But their report did indicate that they had processed some 15,000 bale samples that were received from 11 gins here in South Texas. And so far, the quality of the crop appears to be very good. Most of the samples are falling in the grade range of 21 to 31, with the staple length averaging inch 0.15 and micronaires running 4.4, and the fiber strength a very good sound 31 1/4 gram per tex, along with uniformity of that fiber being 81.9. So the quality of the crop shaping up to be very good. The challenge from here on with a late harvest is always tropical weather patterns, and next week predictions of scattered showers is liable to create some delays in harvesting the remainder of the crop here in the coastal bend. At this time, we're estimating about 40% of the crop having been harvested. That last 60% could be a challenge. Reporting from the coastal bend area for Farm Bureau Roundup, this has been Harvey Buring.
Neighbor, this portion of Down on the Farm brought to you by PMI Kerrville, 103 Lafayette, 830-367-7473. PMI, pipe, steel, and fencing. Pipe, valves, or fittings, plates, sheet, channel, beam, culverts, purlins, fencing, and supplies. They now stock new pipe and casings. Find them again. PMI Kerrville, 103 Lafayette, 830-367-7473. Neighbor, I tell you what, you need to get yourself a couple of those cold bottles of water before you head out the front door. Remember, stay hydrated this afternoon and come on back to us and eat a kolach with us about 3:45. Let's take a look at the grains, courtesy of John Tuggle, 800-288-4453. Milo through Corpus Christi in August, D's plus 65, 1101. Houston, D's plus 125, 1208. Yellow corn through Corpus in August, September plus 70, 621 1/4. We'll call Houston September plus 45, 596 1/4. We'll call hard red winter wheat through Houston in August, September plus $1.802, and we'll call number one beans through Houston in August, November less 30, 1302 3/4. Neighbor, we moved 0 bales of Texas cotton yesterday. Prices ranged for the low grade on 91.45. For the high grade, it brought 94.20. But it didn't bring anything because we sold none yesterday. Neighbor, that's it for the best darn farm show in 100,000 square miles of the great state of Texas. We are Down on the Farm, and we'd appreciate it if you'd come on back about 3:45 for the kolach. In fact, I'll start pouring the iced tea and the coffee about the time I see you turn off the blacktop.